Hey, what's up, guys? Oh man, that cold plunge I just did was pretty great. To be honest, I actually feel great, feel excellent. I feel so energized. But I wanted to just get up on here and just basically tell you a little bit about myself, the things that I'm interested, some ideas and beliefs that I have. So when I'm sitting here trying to encourage you to hit that subscribe button, you know who it is that you're subscribing to. You know what dream or what journey that you're wanting to follow along with. I'm 37 years old, or at least that's what humans on planet Earth would say. I would say that I've been on planet Earth for 37 rotations around the sun because I think time is fake and I think that the happy birthday song is a pagan spell to cause you to age. We can get into that in another video. But I grew up in Utah. I grew up LDS. Yes, I was a Mormon. Yes, I've been to the Mormon church a whole bunch of times. Yes, I know all about Jesus and read the Bible and the Book of Mormon. But am I still Christian? I am not. But I am absolutely obsessed with Jesus, or his real name, Yeshua. Because I think humans throughout all of history have muddied down or had influence on the things we were actually able to learn about this individual. And I think a lot of them were fabricated to control the masses. I'm obsessed with Yeshua because I'm on a consistent day-to-day journey searching for enlightenment or truth or divinity. Because I can see the God in everything. I can see source in everything. And through my journey, I have just realized that there are some certain aspects about the human life that I don't necessarily agree with and I do differently. So I want to encourage everyone that watches this stuff to also do differently. First and foremost is that you have to learn to think for yourself and question everything. Because we have come to realize over the last few years through the pandemic and the election, et cetera, that the powers that be or the institutions that we are supposed to have trust in have lied many, many, many times. So it is possible that everything we have ever learned could be fabricated or altered or changed to fit the narrative. The one who wins the war is the one that writes the history books. So there's some things that I might believe that are kind of controversial, but I think there's a lot of things that I believe that a lot of people on planet Earth would vibrate if I could get myself exposure to all of the individuals that live here. Like, I don't think that we went to the moon. I think the moon landing was fake. I do believe that potentially Antarctica is an ice wall because the evidence for a flat Earth is kind of compelling. Some of it just seems to make sense. I believe that the food that we are provided by in this country, America, has been specifically altered and created to be addictive and unhealthy for us so that we continuously have to go to the pharmaceutical industry or doctors so that we can be prescribed medications for things that eating food is what caused it. I just want to take this opportunity to show you guys that I really live the things that I talk about. I'm not just saying these things. To be honest, the water is freezing, but it's so good for you. I would like to encourage every single person that watches my stuff to please give cold exposure and cold plunges a chance. Just wait until you see how good you feel. And how good you feel and the medical benefits of cold plunging are two separate things. Not only will you feel great, but there is an immense amount of medical benefits by exposing your body to really cold temperatures. Now, one thing that's really good about cold plunging is that it encourages your body to produce more brown fat. That's the fat that's around your organs that helps your body stay warm and to hold in heat, as well as it helps a ton with your circulation. Just imagine all of your veins and arteries and your capillaries just condensing and getting really tight because of how cold it is. There might be some areas in your body where you might not get the best circulation. This is going to help so much because it's going to force those veins to constrict and then to release once the warm blood is passing back through the vein. Not to mention that the intense cold exposure also causes your body to release a whole bunch of endorphins like serotonin. As well as silly as this sounds, I try to do this as regularly as possible because I'm actually terrified of the cold water. So every single time that I'm getting into this cold bath, I'm facing my fears. And hopefully over a long period of time of continuously facing my fear every time I get in the freezing cold water, hopefully it will spiral into just building my confidence every single day to give me more self-confidence, to let me know that I can trust myself, to let myself know that I love myself. Because honestly, that's the most important, is just showing yourself love. Once you can show yourself love and then you start taking care of your body, the sky is the limit, because you will reach the highest vibrational frequency that you could possibly reach. For example, you shouldn't be drinking soda. It's diabetes water, full of high fructose corn syrup, which is really bad for you. A lot of them have artificial dyes, which also are really bad for you. And it's just generally not really good for you at all. We don't drink any soda at my house. Sparkling water is pretty much as it gets. You also should be really just trying to eat earth food. You know, foods that you never see commercials for? Plants, vegetables, fruits, breads, fish, meat, rice, beans, etc. Because the food that you eat has a direct connection on how your body feels and how healthy you are, as well as it has a direct correlation with how high or low your vibrational frequency might be. One of the things that I know for a fact affects your vibrational frequency is plastic. There's plastic everywhere. No, like really, take a second to think about how much plastic in your close vicinity that you're surrounded by. There's probably plastic in your kitchen. If you're not wearing 100% cotton, there's plastic in your clothes. You cook with plastic things. You eat with plastic things. When you make too much dinner, you store your food in plastic things. When you go to the store and buy food, it comes in a plastic container. You eat off of a plastic plate. Drink out of a plastic bottle or a plastic cup. It's bad for you. It's literally poisonous and toxic for you. Another thing that will help with your health is if you try your best and always read the labels to all the food that you eat, so that you know that if you're getting any toxic chemicals, specifically artificial dyes. Fortunately, just a few weeks ago, the first artificial dye that has been banned got banned, and that's red number 3. There's a whole bunch more artificial dyes that need to be removed from our foods because it is toxic and poisonous, and it significantly affects our children. And yes, I do believe in aliens and extraterrestrials. I believe that the creation story about Adam and Eve actually originated in ancient Sumeria, that the Anunnaki came from the planet system Nibiru, came to planet Earth, and mutated genetically the sentient, or at least the most sentient primate that was here on Earth, to create a worker species so they could mine gold. And then the Anunnaki started mating with humans, which created giant humans. And the flood of Noah's Ark was to erase all of that, but there happened to be some humans that stayed alive. Or specifically, Noah, who was come to and talked to by one of the Anunnaki gods, came and told him that there was going to be a flood and how to build the boat. I'm actually quite obsessed with ancient civilizations like the Mayans and the Aztecs. In Cambodia, there's all sorts of ancient sites in Turkey, in Indonesia. Central and South America are also full of them. I think there's a lot of ancient architecture in the Grand Canyon, actually, but they won't let us look at that. And then, to be straight and forward with you, I'm a recovering heroin addict. I have about 6 years clean last November. I'm also someone who suffers from a lot of mental health issues, borderline personality to be specific. It's an identity disorder. I suffer from severe abandonment because of some of the trauma that I experienced as a child. I'm also a victim of every single category of abuse. Yeah, that kind of abuse. I tried methamphetamines for the first time when I was 17 years old, and I was hooked from the second I first tried it. About 25 years old, I also started using heroin. Very quickly, I started using it intravenously, and I became a monster. The 6 years clean that I celebrate is a really big accomplishment. At least it is for me. Not only do I suffer from mental health issues, but I also was an addict for a very long time. Spent about 10 years in and out of jails and prisons. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm either supposed to be locked inside of a cell or dead. But for some reason, God has a bigger plan and purpose for me. So when I started getting sober after I went to prison in 2018, I started actively making content every single day because I found sobriety, I found peace, I found joy, I found happiness. Out of all of the darkness that I experienced throughout my entire life, somehow I came out on the other side. And when I did that, I have to do whatever I can to tell every person who might be suffering on planet Earth how I did it, because maybe something about my story will help you. Maybe I can encourage you can do it too. Maybe my story might be a little bit worse off than your story, so you might perceive your story not to be that bad to help you heal through it. But genuinely, my whole entire mission is just to help humans all across the planet learn to love themselves. That's what this whole channel and content creation thing is all about. Because I know that that's what saved me. I know that's why I have 6 years clean, is because going from hating myself and despising, even looking at myself in the mirror, to just loving me and actually enjoying my company when it's just me and only me. There's something magical in that. And it's been so magical for me that I have to share it. I'm on this constant journey for knowledge because I think when we pass away into the next phase, and yes, I do believe that there is another phase after this human existence, that the only thing we take with us is our memories and our knowledge and our experiences. It's not a contest on who can accumulate the most money before we die. It's not a contest on who can consume the most amount of materialistic things. I think the whole purpose we're here is to come to realize that we are divine beings. With the complexity and the evil system and simulation and matrix that we might live in, we're born, and when we are born, we forget that we are eternal beings. That's why we're crying, because we don't remember anything. And then the whole point of life is to go through this evil, influential, deceptive matrix and find happiness and love and make it out a good person on the other side. That's what I believe. I may be wrong. I may be right. We'll never know until we get there. But I do believe that we have the power to manifest and alter our reality however we choose to. The difference between us and maybe Jesus or Yeshua was that he knew wholeheartedly in his heart that he was a divine being. And for some reason, our human finite minds prevent us from grasping that concept fully and taking hold of all of the supernatural powers that the human race is able to do. Telepathy, telekinesis, a medium, people who have premonitions, healers, etc. There's a reason why these superhuman abilities have been something that humans have talked about for all of time. It's because it's real. It is possible. There's a reason why the American government started Project Stargate, which was a black book secret program used to experiment on people to try and find out the full capacity and the abilities of the human mind. Have you ever heard of remote viewing? It's basically astral projection where you're able to see actual locations and other things on planet Earth, or even not on planet Earth. If you were to look it up right now on the internet, the US government has used a lot of remote viewers in military missions, trying to find out where hostages may be, potentially finding out where there might be a dangerous weapon being hidden. You can do your own research, but remote viewing is real. The powers that the human species have is real. We just have to unlock it. And the only way to unlock it is to go inside, to find something that helps you connect with your mind, body, and soul, and with your higher power or your higher self or God or source or creator. And for me, it's the cold. It's the meditation and the Wim Hof breathing techniques that I do, where I have worked myself up to, after a few rounds of breathing, I'm able to hold my breath for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And during that time, when my body's in fight or flight, and all I can think about is that I'm not breathing, for some reason it quiets my mind. It allows me to talk to God and basically pray and profess to him that or creation or my higher self or whoever it is that is the higher power that's out there. And there might be multiple of them and there might just be one grand creation. But I just express a whole bunch of gratitude. I let the universe know that even though I'm struggling, I am a person that is filled with abundance. Because when you're chasing something or you consistently think about the things you don't have, you're putting that same energy out into the universe, the energy of lack, the energy of not having it, the energy of chasing it. That's why it may seem that you just can't ever catch it because you're always just chasing it. You need to stay in the mindset that you have it already. And the best way to manifest the things you want in your reality is to remain as grateful as you possibly can. Because we all know that the secret or the law of attraction is a real thing. We know that. Scientifically proven that stuff works. That your perception or how you perceive reality is how you see life. We could all be in the same classroom learning the same lesson about history, but nobody is going to learn the lesson or the things or pay attention to the things or attracted to certain concepts like me. Everyone is going to learn something different. everyone's consciousness is going to be gravitating towards some other concept than what I am. Perception is subjective. So with all of the hard times and the struggles that you might have, when you go out into this world, just realize that, hey, everyone's just like me. They are also probably struggling. They're also probably having a hard time. Maybe the way, if they are acting or portraying negativity towards me through actions or words, maybe it actually doesn't have anything to do with me. Maybe it's something that they're going through. And when you approach life like that, it allows you to have relationships with humans that maybe a lot of people have given up on that human because they struggle with their mental health and they don't know how to gravitate or navigate through life. And so approaching them, if they're in your life, just understanding that they're also going through things, and how we perceive what they're going through, we have no idea exactly how they're perceiving it. They might perceive it as something traumatic, and we might perceive it as something trivial. The point of all of this is just to tell all of you that I love you. That's the only reason that I'm actually even doing any of this, is because I have learned to love myself at a time where I didn't like myself even 1%. And I know that's the key to the universe, is through self-love. And really actually start genuinely caring about your health and your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health. Make sure that you're always just so protective of all of your energy. I'd be willing to bet that there's at least some people that are going to watch this that right now have someone in their life that's an energy vampire, someone who just sucks their energy. And when you allow people to take your energy from you, it's knocking you off of the path that you're meant to take. It's knocking you off your purpose. It's knocking you off the things that you've manifested and the things that you're trying to work towards in your goals and your dreams. It knocks you off course when you put out negativity, or you try to please people, or you just freely give your energy to anybody who asks for it. My energy, you have to earn this shit. You have to be around and been around for a long time to earn any of my energy. And that's not because I have any negative emotion or thoughts about humanity. It's because my energy is important. And I even struggle with maintaining happiness, and I have anger issues really bad, actually. For some reason, I just can snap really fast, and I've been actively working for like the last year nonstop on anger management, all on my own, not going to any classes, just learning the things and learning about my body and myself, and paying super high awareness to everything I do and say, and why did I do this, and why did I react to this, and how can I fix this? How can I talk to my children in a more calm and collected way? How can I parent and discipline without enforcing intimidation and fear? Like, there's all of these things that I go through on a day-to-day basis. I'm human too. I know a lot of the things I say sometimes might just perceive as like I'm always in this happy-go-lucky mood. I struggle just like you, player. But I made it out on the other side from dark, dark times. I wouldn't even want to tell you the type of person I was in my addiction, because you probably would unfollow me. Maybe if I get famous and I do something that's controversial or against the elites, maybe the whole world will find out all the fucked up things that I've done. That's the goal, right? Is to get so big that they try and throw your past mistakes in your face to make it so you're not as famous. Why do I want to be famous? Why do I want to become a huge content creator? Why do I want to do all of these things? Because I want to change the world with a smile on my face, one conversation at a time, one word at a time, one step at a time, for the better. I just want to help humans learn to love themselves and deal with mental health and addiction. I also like to talk about some conspiracies. I wear a tinfoil hat a lot. Like I'd mentioned earlier, I don't think we went to the moon. I think there's a whole plethora of conspiracies that I believe that we're not really going to get into. But if you have a conspiracy that you may or may not want me to make a video about, you can go ahead and just drop it in the comments now. Most people so far, I just don't know. I've been told not to read the comments because it's just going to be filled with negativity. The last video I posted only got about 2 comments, so I don't even really know what the likelihood of people even commenting or liking the video. But if you vibrate with anything that I have said up until this point, I would just really appreciate if you just hit the subscribe and the bell button. My other socials, like I had mentioned before, I'll put my other social medias up here if you want to follow those as well. But my main course of action and my main goal in the channel to build is YouTube. So if you vibrate with this video or my last video, please hit that subscribe button. Until we talk again, I want you to know that it's okay to not be okay. Everyone has the hard times and everyone struggles. The key to it is to not allow yourself to not be okay for a long time. 1-2 days to process emotions and be sad and maybe bed rot or just doom scroll. And then it's right back to grinding, right back to your journey, right back to your purpose. Because that's the only way that you can make progression. Because from what I understand of dark times or mental health or depression is sometimes it can consume you and you will never get out. And it seems as if like you're having a lot more depressed days than you do happy days. And we're here to bring nothing but happy days. Peace out, you trippy ass motherfucker.